Story 1. The House by the Swamp. My name is Artyom. When I was 13, my parents sent me to spend the entire summer at my grandmother's house in a remote village. There was almost no internet and the nearest store was several kilometers away. On the very first evening, my grandmother told me something strange. Whatever happens, if you hear knocking on the window at night, don't look. I laughed, but she didn't smile. That night, I woke up to the sound of rain. Everything was dark. Then I heard it. Knock, knock, knock. Someone was tapping on the window. I remembered what Grandma had said and pulled the blanket over my head. The knocking stopped. The next morning I told her about it. She turned pale. How many times did it knock? 3. She was silent for a long time. Then it knows you're here. I thought she was joking, but that evening I found barefoot footprints outside my window. They led from the swamp to the house, and they were far too large to belong to a human. Story 2. The Man in the Attic. A few days later, I started hearing footsteps above the ceiling. My grandmother lived alone, yet every night someone walked across the attic. Creak, creak, creak. I asked her about it. Are there cats up there? She looked at me strangely. No one has gone into that attic for years. That night, curiosity got the better of me. I grabbed a flashlight and climbed the ladder. The attic was empty. Dust covered everything. But in the middle of the floor, I saw footprints. Fresh footprints. They started in the darkness and ended right above the attic hatch, as if someone stood there every night, watching me sleep below. Then I heard a slow breath behind me. I spun around. No one was there. But the ladder leading down had somehow been pulled away. Story 3. The Well. Behind the house stood an old well. Grandma always warned me not to go near it. Naturally, I went. The wooden cover was crooked. I leaned over and looked inside. Nothing but darkness. Then I thought I heard whispering. I listened carefully. At first, nothing. Then I heard my name. Artyom. I jumped back. The voice came again. This time there was no mistake. It was calling me. I ran back home. That evening, Grandma told me that many years ago a boy disappeared in that well. His body was never found. That night I woke up to a whisper outside my window. Someone was calling me back to the well. Story 4. The Forest Without Birds. One afternoon I wandered into the forest. Something felt wrong immediately. There were no birds, no chirping, no sounds at all, only the wind. The deeper I went, the quieter it became. Then I found an old cabin. The windows were boarded shut. The door stood slightly open. Inside were dozens of photographs scattered across the floor. Every photo showed the same figure, a tall man with no face. Suddenly I heard a branch snap behind me. I turned around. Between the trees stood a very tall silhouette, completely motionless, watching me. Story 5. The Train That Doesn't Exist. One night I heard a train whistle. That was impossible. There were no train tracks anywhere near the village. The next morning I asked Grandma. She turned pale. You heard it too? According to the villagers, many people had heard the train, but no one had ever seen it. The older residents claimed that if you ever saw its lights, you would never return home. The following night I looked out the window. Far beyond the trees I saw lights moving through the darkness. Too many lights, and they were getting closer. Story 6. The Lake. Not far from the village was a lake. Nobody liked going there. People said the water took people away. I didn't believe it. Until one day I saw a face beneath the surface. My face. It stared up at me from the bottom, and it was smiling. I wasn't. Then the reflection raised its hand, on its own, and beckoned me closer. Story 7. The Neighbor. An old man lived across the road. Nobody ever saw him during the day, only at night. Every evening he stood by his fence staring at my grandmother's house. One day I decided to meet him. I crossed the road and approached his property. The house was empty, completely empty. A thick layer of dust covered everything. It looked abandoned for decades. Later I asked Grandma about him. What happened to the old man across the road? She froze. What old man? The one who stands outside every night. Her face turned white. He died 20 years ago. Story 8. The Basement Door. While cleaning, I discovered a hidden trapdoor beneath an old rug. It led to a basement. Grandma strictly forbade me from opening it, so naturally I waited until night. Below the basement was another door, a heavy iron door, locked with chains. From the other side came a faint knocking. 1 knock, 2 knocks, 3 knocks. Then I heard a voice. It sounded exactly like my grandmother. "Let me out." Story 9. The Last Resident. As summer came to an end, people started leaving the village. More and more houses stood empty. One morning I woke up and noticed complete silence outside. No voices, no cars, nothing. I spent hours walking through the village. Everyone was gone. It was as if the entire population had vanished overnight. Then I saw him, standing near the old store, the tall, faceless man, looking directly at me. Story 10. Grandma's Secret. On the last day of summer, Grandma finally told me the truth. Many years ago, when she was a child, she spent a summer in this same village and she met the faceless man. He offered her a deal. She could leave, but in return, someone from her family had to return to the village every generation. "That's why you're here," she said quietly. At that moment, someone knocked on the door 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. Grandma slowly turned toward the window. "I think he has finally come for you." Then every light in the house went out, and beyond the glass, dozens of pale faces appeared, staring inside. The end. Or maybe just the beginning.